Thank you. As my colleagues have said, I think that they're taking the opportunity by pointing out the fact that there is perceived over-regulation in one area while considerable defects in the other. I want to take the opportunity while the Minister is here to reiterate the point that I have made previously, particularly in debates in relation to the Priory Hall development, that self-certification doesn't work. It didn't work in Priory Hall. I appreciate that you put in place now a system that is slightly better than what was there, but it falls far short, in my view, of what's actually required. The only system that will truly work, and the only system that people who are buying homes and making the biggest investment of their lives in their homes, the only system that they can have full confidence in is if we have a proper local authority-backed inspection system. Where the local authority, where all properties are inspected, either by local authority staff or by people under their oversight, and where they sign off on the buildings, not self-certification. And I appreciate, Minister, that would cost more, but I think it's worth it. And I think that when somebody's buying a house, you're making the biggest investment and taking the biggest risk that you ever will in your life. And I think it's worth paying a bit more to have the guarantee that you're not just getting a house in Centre Norris referred to the speculative building sector. And I think that is where the real issue is. I think that when people are doing self-built houses, they should of course make sure that they can be confident that it's been done properly. Of course they should. But the bigger risk, I would suggest, Minister, that the person who's most likely to care about what's being built is somebody who's actually building it themselves, is on site and wants to make sure it's going to be fit for purpose. The problem when somebody's a speculative developer is that they don't care. What they're looking at is a profit margin, and they're looking at any opportunity. And we've had some developers in this country, to be fair, who have built excellent properties, who have built estates that have decent facilities in them. We have others who still, to this day, I was at a meeting with Fingal County Council and Dublin City Council last week, talking about unfinished developments. And we have a system, and I wanted to raise this with you as well, where a developer that has a half-built estate in Fingal, in Castlemoyne, in Balgrifton, has just got permission to build hundreds more houses across the road when they haven't finished the ones that they have already. I think that's a disgrace. I think we need to change the law so that cannot happen. And when I raised that with the council officials at the meeting, they said they cannot penalise it. They said it's not within their power. The law does not allow them to refuse to give permission. I questioned actually, and asked the other colleagues at the meeting whether that was true. But I would ask the Minister, maybe if that's not true, to raise that with Fingal County Council, because it's crazy, and because we should have a system that supports good development, acknowledges it, accepts that there are developers who care about what they build, who care about putting their name to a development and that it's a standard of excellence, and there are others who are just out to cut corners. And I think now we have to learn from the mistakes of the past, and we should be putting in the best possible system that we have. There is a proper local authority-backed system in the UK. It also succeeds in other countries as well, and I think that's what we should be moving to. So I did want to take this opportunity while the Minister is here to make those points. And I think the point is well made. Whether I suppose I don't have any one-off houses self-builds in my area, it's not an issue that I would pretend to know a whole lot about, but I think the point is well made that somebody would have, if they're building their own self-built home, I think they would have more interest in making sure that it works out properly than a speculative developer. And it does seem to me that the regulations that have been brought in are far too soft on the speculators, and that self-certification is the route that's being pursued, and I think that's wrong.
Thank you very much, Senator Powell.